How's it going, everyone? Sessiion here. Welcome to Final Fantasy XIV. We have ourselves a new Paladin. I think I'm looking really forward to it. I kind of was looking at some of the notes from earlier with the patch notes finally being released in full and just kind of ready to give a change to the hotbar. It seems like the hotbar is going to require a couple changes because I do realize that they brought in the new move, well, a returning move actually, Bulwark, which it looks like the effect is still the same from back when it was around back in Stormblood days. But I don't know where to put it on the hotbar. So I feel like there's going to need to be some changes made. But I also wanted to kind of give like a bit of a showcase about how the changes kind of allocated with new Paladin, because I do have old Paladin like in my brain. And I do have some theories and ideas about what the changes may apply to, since now they changed fight or flight to being like a 20-second like buff timer, which means that you probably have to treat it a little bit like Gunbreaker in my mindset. But I just wanted to kind of get myself started to see kind of what changes they came into play. So let's make sure I can understand it a bit, because now they changed it so that ooh, okay. Oh, it does go down with that now, so you have to use it every single time within that. Okay, I get it now. So instead of having fight or flight be like a physical buff increase and then having Riku's be a special attack, it just activates Confiteor. But this is a full buff for all abilities. So yeah, I think in a way you probably have to treat it like oh, I didn't even use Goring, because now Goring is just a 60-second attack. Oh man, that's gonna be so weird. Okay, because yeah, like now they're not technically two buffs. And I guess the big difference too is that like with Paladin, Riku's is 60 seconds, but for Gunbreaker, Bloodfest is 120. So there's no 120 offensive abilities that the Paladin has, which does still bring it a bit of a niche difference in comparison to Gunbreaker. Interesting. I didn't actually realize that was like a real thing. I completely forgot about Goring, which is so bizarre because like I didn't forget it on purpose. I just like it no longer highlights as a combo, which is so fascinating. But I also don't like that. I feel like okay, so then we probably, because the thing is like now fight or flight being 20 seconds, you have to fit it almost like how No Mercy works, which usually fits 9 GCDs. But the thing is that Confiteor already guarantees 4, and then Goring is 5. So I guess in theory, you have to fit a Holy Spirit, because a Holy Spirit buffed after Royal Authority does more damage than if you didn't do it. So I wonder if that means we have to do fight or flight after Royal Authority. Okay, let me see. Oh, you know it's cool also, I realized that they show you the elemental damage that comes out, or the type of damage that comes out from the I almost forgot Goring again. Okay, that's gonna be so weird for me. Yeah. I wonder then, because let me think. Yeah, because Confiteor combo's 4, the Holy Spirit is 5, the Goring is 6. Yeah, and then 3 atonements. But I can't fit the 9th attack unless I have to delay fight or flight. Although my attack speed might be a little bit. Oh, it's very slow. That actually makes a really big difference. 249 is very slow for what it's worth. Okay, so I feel like you still need to do it in the 2.42-ish range to fit that 9th attack in under fight or flight. Because right now I feel like I can only fit 8 rather, 4. Unless I delay fight or flight. Let me see. So then let's do. I'm not gonna forget goring this time. Have it. There's that. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to put on food. It like barely makes the cut, so I think that you have to 2.5 is too slow. I mean, even 2.49, which I currently have, is too slow. I wonder if food will that 0.01 difference might make a difference. We'll see. But like now, some of the changes that they actually implemented, like I said, is that like goring is no longer a combo attack; it's just its own attack, which reminds me of bow shot or sonic break rather for gunbreaker. Like Paladin gives me very strong gunbreaker vibes, except for like the continuation combo stuff. But it has its own like OGCDs to kind of complement it as well. So the other thing is that you don't want to use Holy Spirit by itself outside of the opener, because now Holy Spirit gets buffed after Royal Authority. But you also have atonements, which is so interesting. And the other issue too, now that I'm looking at my hotbar, is that I don't know where to put Bulwark if I try to apply it somewhere. So now I feel like I have to part ways with an ability that I have had there for a long time somewhere, but okay, let's try this one more time. I almost used Fight or Flight. I really did. Okay. I mean, the order's not necessarily correct, I don't think. I feel like you want to get out goring right like after you activate Reckless Cup before competing here. No, it's still too it's still a little too slow. So yeah, I think having food is not going to matter, but even more so too, my skill speed is very slow. I don't my gear is outdated. I haven't like messed with my gear in so long. I'm not even like this yet, which is like really unfortunate to look at out loud. It's okay though. We'll crack at that eventually. So now the problem is goring is a 60-second GCD, and putting it there is so incorrect, because now I have to like change Royal Authority and goring, because this is how it'll be now with the combo. But then also putting atonement there doesn't make sense to me either, because now I think I have to use atonement a lot more frequently. So then maybe I do something like this, but I don't like goring being there despite it being 60 seconds. I could, in theory, put this here. Oh, and then do I take this here? But then here's the thing: on my hotbar for all my tanks, like I play on PlayStation controller, left or L2 cross is where my like throwing attack is. So for Shield Lob to not be there is really bizarre. But I also don't want goring there either. But in fairness, I don't ever use Shield Lob outside. Oh well, I mean, considering like the considering older dungeon like content, like if I try doing like 50 or like even like ARR content, I don't have Holy Spirit obviously, so I feel like I need to keep Shield Lob close for like old content. But in a raid scenario at like current gear, I'm never going to use that move, and I still have to fit Bulwark somewhere. What if I do I have it there already? Yeah, okay, so Bulwark is there. That hasn't moved that spot in ages. So the fact that it's back is like kind of crazy. What if I move Bulwark or Shield Lob down here, but then I have a defensive cooldown, which I don't like. Oh, then I can probably put Circle like this. Actually, you know what? I like this a lot because it kind of reminds me of Gunbreaker again. I'm telling you now, it's giving me strong Gunbreaker vibes, because now I have my whole AoE here, because Prominence also activates Spirit and Circle, and it's buffed, and my dot is here, and it's literally the same thing as it is with same thing as Gunbreaker. The difference with Gunbreaker and Paladin is that here, where Expiation is, I have Heart of Corundum. Rookie Sky is where Bloodfest is. The buff and the Invuln are there together. Intervene and Rectified are there. Confidio is there, but I also have Blasting Zone there, but that's fine though. Lightning Shot is where Holy Spirit is, but now officially Holy Spirit is my new like throwing attack thing. I mean, I always can throw Shield Lob from here, but I'm never going to use that move moving forward. And now Goring Blade, which is similar to Sonic Break in the sense of it being like a 60-second attack to a degree, is now in a position where I can use it, which is nice though, because now I can freely attack around while using Atonement. Like I used to have the issue of trying to use it on my like left arrow, like directional pad button, but now I can kind of run around freely and use it. So this actually works out. And then we have Bulwark, which is now, it just blocks incoming attacks. I think it's literally the same version from back in Stormblood. Because now Holy Celtron doesn't block attacks anymore. It just is it's a flat 30%. Although it's 215s, but like it's a total of 30. Which is cool. So I actually like that quite a bit. Because I think that Holy Celtron was giving like a more difficult time for tanks to mitigate like bleeds more effectively. So Holy Celtron now is going to be it's actually just as good as Corundum. The only big difference is that now they all have like one particular change, because Corundum has like a Excog if you go too low. Celtron now only gives you, not only, but it has a regen that you have over time. And then Blood Wedding, you can attack. It's like a bloodbath almost, where you kind of attack and you get HP back. And then the Blackest Night is just like a fat like shield. So, but it pairs up usually with Ablation, so it's still like a mitigator as well. So that's cool. Okay, I think this is the change. Oh, because also Divine Veil no longer activates as it does. It's like, wow. Okay. So it's kind of like Shake It Off as well, to a degree. Because what is it? Doesn't it create a barrier on itself and all party members equal to 10%, and it restores HP. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get that, because Divine Veil compared to Shake It Off, because Shake It Off has a regen effect and a shield. This has a shield but a cure. So there is still at least a difference between like how the moves function, which is cool. Are there any more changes? I don't think so. But I think that's it for the most part. The only thing I can like showcase is that the potency for I think Holy Spirit is 350, which that's not bad. But then the Divine Might gives like a 450 buff, that's actually like pretty big difference. And Goring is now, it's gonna be so weird to see Goring on my left hotbar versus like where it's, because Goring has been where Royal Authority is now, I think I kid you not, for like 4 years. It hasn't moved. So I think this is it. I feel like this is the new change I have to just accept. Yeah, because then like if you try to this is really cool actually. Oh, but Goring, that's going to be so weird. Like I'm not like a Paladin player, although I've dabbled in Paladin a lot, but I have not really played Paladin until literally the end of the previous patch. Like 6.25/8 was when I sort of started playing Paladin a bit, but I haven't been able to effectively like play it throughout the expansion, which is fine. I mean, I've just been kind of bouncing around every other job, but like for this tier I'm currently playing as Gunbreaker, and I think I'm also going to be doing the Omega Protocol as Gunbreaker as well. But I feel like the transition for Paladin is actually going to be very welcoming, because it's no longer, it's officially now like a 2-minute burst job, which is cool. I like that a lot. I will certainly miss the idea of old Paladin, it being like a sustainable minute job, but and this is like a hope, I think, not just like a like they shouldn't do this, and like it's only because it's like nostalgic for me. But I would like for them to, if they do ever bring in a 5th tank again, that they kind of create a similarity of how old Paladin functioned, where it doesn't have 2 minutes, but they should make the burst for the every other, you know, the even minute. There should be like an even minute burst and an odd minute burst, kind of like how Paladin had it. But I think Paladin's issue was that they were switched. So you started with fight and then did Requiescat in as like on the odd minute. They should just switch that, because I think the like with old Paladin, the buffs were like backwards. Like you started with fight. If you did like a full like long rotation or opener rather, that's why people did like the 18-second one, because that way you can kind of do everything in one sitting, and that kind of became like the, you know, the unaffected, like, or unofficial rather, that's a more appropriate word, unofficial 2-minute burst window for Paladin. So, which is fine, but I like this. I am definitely, it's going to be really weird to have shield lob. I know for a fact that if I ever end up in like a leveling dungeon and then I'm doing like Satasha and I try and throw my shield and I can't throw it, it's going to hit me. I'm going to realize it at the last second. So, I mean, I don't know. We'll find out though, but I'm definitely looking forward to giving Paladin a try throughout the day today. Chances are pretty high I'm going to do dailies as Paladin, just to kind of get a feel for it, because even though it's only we've added one move, we've moved around a lot of moves. I think the total is like 5 or 6 rather, so that's weird, but I'm excited. Also, like the fact that now I can't use Holy Spirit 4 times to activate Confiteor, that's also going to throw me off. But either way though, I strongly am looking forward to playing Paladin. So hope you guys enjoy the new Paladin changes. Let me know what you think. I think that they're like a huge W. I just wish that there was also a way to kind of get a channel of old Paladin as well, just because I like, you know, I like when things are the same and they don't change, but I'm like never ready for changes, but then they're welcoming. But I also will start missing old Paladin. I think that's really what it is. It's like the end of an era, so we'll see. But yeah, thank you so much for watching and take care.